Merry Christmas. Welcome to Citizen McCain. And a happy Hanukkah. Happy second day of Hanukkah to all our Jewish friends and brothers and sisters out there. 8 crazy nights. Fun fact, Miranda, I still know every single word to Adam Sandler's Hanukkah song, which I learned in middle school. And I was singing it to my girls and showing them. And I still know every single one. The OJ Simpson line is a little tricky to explain. I was just like, he was a bad man. Just leave it at that.
Are they asking who all these people are?
Yes. And like David Lee Roth lights the menorah. So anyway, but
You
that's
got to
my
see the
new
movie,
party trick.
the Eight Crazy Nights movie. It's so cute. It's one of my daughter Coco's favorites. She absolutely loves the Eight Crazy Nights movie. It's very, very sweet. So
The animated
I
one,
re
right?
yes, yes, it's an
Yeah.
animated holiday movie. It's Eight Crazy Nights. It's very cute. So I recommend it. It's very,
The
very sweet.
song still slaps. Just
Yeah,
saying. It's
it's a
good. I only know
banger.
the original. I don't know the new. I know there's like a new one, but
Is there a new one? Oh,
um
not
there's
interested.
like
I
an
like the original.
updated. Yeah.
It's like
It's
the
really
new We Didn't
good.
Start the Fire Fall Out Boy tried. It's like, no, the original, please. Thank you. Not interested.
Keep it. Also, a little housekeeping. We're wearing our Christmas sweatshirts because we got so many complaints about turtlenecks that we
Well,
said we were going to wear our Christmas
I'm
sweatshirts.
in a
So that's
turtleneck
what we're
regular
doing.
sweater. I forgot the memo, but
You
I
look
do have a,
nice.
I
Yeah,
know. I have,
Miranda didn't listen to that actually. She wore it in defiance. Never mind.
I was like, I'm gonna dress up since that's what we're supposed to do. I do have my horrendous Christmas sweatshirt next to me. I could switch if we want to, but I did up my decorations game, so I did do that.
So
So
good. Looks great. And then again, we have one final show on Wednesday before we go on Christmas break. And we have to switch gears. On Wednesday, we're going to be doing like our end of year Festivus breakdown,
grievances,
and it's going to
yeah.
be fun and silly. But just really quickly is we have to switch gears a little bit. It's a very, very dark, hard weekend. We
Horrible.
were texting this. I had asked for our next guest to come on after this horrific shooting in Bondi Beach, Australia, at a Hanukkah celebration on the beach. And then, right between us asking our guest to come on, and this morning, another horrific story happened that we have to talk about. But first, I want to bring in our friend, Jonathan Greenblatt, who's the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League, and you can follow him on X and Instagram at JGreenblattADL, and obviously the Anti-Defamation League ADL on X. Jonathan, it's really nice to see your face. The vibe is off. It's a really dark morning. I appreciate you taking time from your busy schedule to be here this
Look,
morning.
Meghan, you are a warrior and you are an ally to the Jewish people. And forgetting the fact that you know Adam Sandler's
I
Hanukkah,
do.
song, which is
I do.
way up as far as I'm concerned on the list. But really, like I just so appreciate our friendship and I appreciate your strength and your solidarity and your support. So I couldn't be happier than to be here.
I really, Jonathan, Miranda and I talk about this all the time, and I want to get into the Rob Reiner and the Bondi Beach, Australia terror attack. But we have a very solid show here. We have a good, solid show with a good, solid following that we're very grateful for. We have real ads from real companies. We have a very respectable following by anyone's standards.
Mm.
We were told this year that a great way for us to get more viewers, more clicks, more shares is to start asking questions about Israel, to possibly start flirting with some Qatari things. It's a hard no for everybody at this show, starting with me, Miranda, and everyone who works here. We believe Israel has a right to exist. I'm a Zionist. I think Miranda would describe herself that way too. Nothing's shifting or changing, but it has been very depressing to see the rise of so many people on the right sort of flirt with the just asking questions that's very easily shrouded in anti-Semitism. What's it been like for you to watch? Because I used to take pride in the fact that, like, on the right, we don't do this type of thing. And now I can't claim that anymore.
Well, look, I mean, I appreciate you saying that. I think we have to acknowledge that our politics have scrambled so in such crazy ways in the last few years, right? So it used to be that, again, if we think about the Reagan Revolution, if we think about what President Reagan augured, think about people like your dad, if we think about this strong relationship between the Jewish state, the Jewish people, and the GOP, that was there for decades and decades. And now there are bad actors from the margins who want to try to take a chisel to that. Tucker Carlson's favorite line is I'm just asking questions, right? And Tucker and the Nick Fuentes and the Candace Owens and that type are literally trying to split the Jewish people from the Republican Party. And then, of course, on the left, for decades and decades, the Democratic Party was very pro-Israel, Look at Chuck Schumer as the highest ranking elected Jewish official in U.S. history. We've had Jewish chiefs of staff at the White House and so on. It's Jewish secretaries of state and so on and so forth. And yet there are forces from the fringe on the left who have tried assiduously and relentlessly to split, again, the Jewish people and the Jewish state from the Democratic Party. And it's working to some degree. I mean, we've seen what's happened, in just the last 2 years since 10/7, when so many folks on the left were calling out Israel, despite the fact that she was the one who was genocidally attacked by Hamas. So you're in this scrambled moment in American politics when fringe actors are trying to go mainstream, when they're normalizing anti-Semitism. And unfortunately, what we see is incitement. Freedom of expression, super crucial. Freedom of speech, bedrock of our country. But that freedom of speech isn't the freedom to slander, and freedom to express your ideas isn't the freedom to incite violence against the minority. And it seems like we need to remind ourselves of these very basic truths in a time when, in this moment, Jewish people, whether it's in Bondi Beach, Australia, or it's, in Parkey Synagogue in Midtown Manhattan, or Wilshire Boulevard Temple in Los Angeles, literally, Jewish people are under attack.
No, Jewish people are under attack everywhere. And you know better than me, you're the head of the Anti-Defamation League. The anti-Semitic hate crimes, I believe it was over 10,000 just in the United States alone this past year, which is really an unfathomable number of hate crimes. I just want to stay on the Tucker Carlson of it all just for 1 second before we move on. I don't know if you've been following the story of Olivia Nuzzi and RFK, the reporter who had an affair with the Health and Human Services, had that point of the story has nothing to do with that, except text messages were released from her book where she had passed along, or I'm sorry, her ex-fiance claims that she had passed along information to Tucker Carlson, and Tucker Carlson's first reaction about her having an affair with RFK was that it's clearly an Israel psyop, that's in print, it's insane. I think you have to have real mental illness and brain rot to jump to something like that. And in every situation, when he is being interviewed, it doesn't matter if you say, hey, I had pizza delivery and it was 10 minutes late. According to Tucker Carlson, it's always Israel's fault. I don't understand why this is even accepted. I don't understand why everyone doesn't think it's insane. But I'm very concerned about it because he has a huge audience and huge influence in this administration. His son works for Vice President Vance.
There's a few things to unpack in that. So number one, I think Tucker Carlson has been scapegoating the Jewish state for a long time. He has platformed Holocaust deniers. He has platformed virulent anti-Zionists. He's platformed, pro-Iran kind of surrogates, and that has been going on for a long time. That's number one. Number two, look, let's be honest, right? Like blaming the Jews is as old as the hills. It's the tried and true tactic of people who are, again, looking to get clicks. And it's a tried and true tactic of people who are looking to distract attention. But I think the third thing that's very material, and I really appreciate how you open the segment, like there are foreign actors who want to spread dissension right here in America, who want to divide us. Look, in Australia, earlier this year, the prime minister, who has not been as strong on anti-Semitism as I would like, he publicly acknowledged that the Islamic Republic of Iran was responsible for 2 terror plots against the Jewish community, and they threw out the Iranian ambassador from Sydney earlier this year. Okay. Now, we also know the Qataris, they fund Al Jazeera, they fund AJ Plus, they funded a lot of the protests at these college campuses and so on and so forth. So whether it's Iran or Qatar or Russia or China, there are all these foreign actors using anti-Semitism, using anti-Americanism to try to weaken our own country. And we've got to recognize that for what it is.
Yeah, and they're trying to make us hate the West and hate America. And I, for one, would rather die than buy property in Doha, like Tucker Carlson just announced he's doing. Are you kidding me right now? That's insane. We have to talk about the Australia terror attack. And for people that somehow don't know, the death toll from the shooting at the Hanukkah celebration has risen to 15. Authorities are calling it an act of terrorism. It was carried out by a father and son. More than 36 people are still hospitalized. Many are in critical condition. Victims age in range from age 10 to 87, one including a Holocaust survivor. It's horrific. The tragedy is obviously reigniting anger over rising anti-Semitism in Australia. including accusing the Prime Minister Anthony Albanese of failing to act sooner on anti-Semitic rallies and extreme incidents that have become increasingly common since late 2023. I do want to show a clip of this hero, of this man who took down the terrorist. Police, for whatever reason, were just sitting and doing nothing. And then this gentleman that I somehow don't have his name in my notes, I apologize. This video circulated of him taking down the terrorist. Number one, please. His name, Ashley. Grab his name. Is it done? So the hero's name is Ahmed El Ahmed, and I apologize, I didn't have his name written down, but we got it. There's more footage of the scenes during the attack. I've seen it. It's a lot, Jonathan. I don't want to watch it again if that's okay. It's a horrific terror incident. Weirdly, I have a very good friend who's Australian, who is from Bondi Beach, whose family members work in the medical field and we're helping the victims. She's obviously incredibly traumatized hearing about it. What is going on in Australia? Because I had heard it was a particularly bad place for anti-Semitism over the past few years.
Well, look, Australia is an interesting place. So Australia welcomed Jews after the end of the Holocaust. There's, I think, the largest concentration of Holocaust survivors living outside Israel in Australia. And yet, since 10/7, it has been off the wall. So anti-Semitic incidents are up nearly 500% since October the 7th. That's a steeper climb than we've had here in the US. Just last week, they had the 1-year anniversary of a firebombing of a prominent synagogue in Melbourne. There was also an attack on a kosher restaurant in Sydney. There have been outrageous acts of harassment and discrimination against Jewish people. And as you kind of said, Prime Minister Albanese has been quite weak in calling this stuff out. It's as if he was afraid he would pay a political price in Australia for simply calling out hate for what it is. Now, ADL is super engaged with the Australian Jewish community. We actually organize, and we're the secretariat for a group, Meghan, called the J7. The J7, like the G7, are the largest economies in the world, 7 largest. The J7 are the 7 largest Jewish communities in the world. So that's Australia, America, Canada, the UK, Germany, France, and Argentina. This group of 7 countries, they have an annual summit, and it literally just took place last week, Meghan, in Australia. So we released all the teams were there from the communities all around the world. And we released a statement to the Prime Minister saying, you need to do more right now, because this intensifying rhetoric, this inflaming environment could explode if you don't step up. And he didn't. And again, your point, like, yeah, the police were there, not enough, but they were there, but they stood down when these ISIS-inspired gunmen were shooting these individuals. There were over 1,000 people on the beach. They were shooting them like, fish in a barrel. And if it weren't for that extraordinary good Samaritan, if he hadn't have stepped up, God knows how many more people would have been killed. So Australia is a place that has been tolerant for a long time. It is unraveling before our very eyes. And they need strong leadership who will step up and stop this madness before it gets even worse.
Has anyone come out and explained why the police stood down for the nearly 10 to 11-minute attack and didn't return fire or try to do anything to intervene?
In the hours since, I don't think so. I mean, I do think, in as much as I have not heard, we haven't been briefed. Again, we're directly engaged with the Australian Jewish community. They are traumatized and in shock. Mm-hmm. I mean, the people killed. You're talking about a number of different grandparents, including the 87-year-old Holocaust survivor, Rabbi Schrager, who was killed, 41 years old, the father of 5. There was another rabbi also killed on the beach. There was a 10-year-old girl. I mean, and there were dozens of people.
It was a Hanukkah celebration, right?
Yeah, it was the biggest Hanukkah celebration that happens in Australia every year. Again, thousands of people typically convene on the beach. It was just starting. So there were over 1,000 people. It would have been even larger. It's horrifying. And so how the police were so poorly prepared, how the police were so terribly trained, I don't know. They should go talk to the Israelis or talk to our police here in America. I mean, think about this. I was at an event last night here in Midtown Manhattan, and look, the NYPD, they are really, really good. But it's scary that being Jewish means you have a target painted on your back. I mean, it's frightening that we have to have armed law enforcement at every menorah lighting or every Passover Seder or a Shabbat service. I mean, literally at my synagogue where I pray on a Saturday morning, there's a big Humvee outside to deter potential threats. I mean, that's
Oh,
normal.
no. And we just, again, this is anecdotal stories, but like in my life, there's synagogues in Arizona where people are offering to volunteer, to arm their friends to help them walk to synagogue on Shabbat. I have friends, again, my girlfriend that's from Australia, I just was speaking to her and she was, asking about if she should take her mezuzah down. Like, it's like, I don't want to live in this kind of, I don't, I'm not, Jonathan, I don't want to sound like sanctimonious in any way, or I hope this doesn't come off strange, but like I have been surrounded by Jewish people my entire life, literally since I have a thought process. My first kiss was at a bar mitzvah. Danny, you know who you are. Yeah,
Wow.
nice bar mitzvah. You're welcome. Yes. My life is so illuminated by the relationships between Christian and Jewish people. We're a Judeo-Christian nation. We have a shared beliefs, shared values, shared outlook, and I believe shared patriotism. And I'm not trying to in any way scapegoat or say anything ugly about people who are not Judeo-Christian, but we are a Judeo-Christian nation. We just are. And I am so confused and upset and scared about trying to raise children in an environment where now if I send my daughter to a bar mitzvah at some point or bat mitzvah, whatever, like, do I now have to worry about everybody's collective safety? And for people watching, and we actually have a question from a viewer in 1 minute, what can you say to people to make them feel better? I mean, we're on the second night of Hanukkah, and I'm talking to you about a terror attack that just happened in Australia for people trying to celebrate, that holiday.
Well, first, like, although I didn't know the history, like, I'm not surprised to hear it because you've been such a friend. Again, a warrior for the Jewish community, Meghan. So I can't thank you enough.
It's easy, Jonathan. It's not hard.
I mean,
Like that's what I always say. It's not
you know
hard.
what?
Just don't be a
It really isn't.
gross person.
I appreciate that, but courage seems to be in short supply among people in public life. And so the small stuff sends a huge message to your Jewish friends and neighbors and colleagues and audience. So all that being said, number one, I think my message to Jewish people is like, and this may sound counterintuitive, but I want to tell Jewish people to be more Jewish. Don't be afraid to wear your kippah. Don't be afraid to light your menorah. Put it in your window. The only way we can respond to the darkness is with light. That's what this holiday, of course, is all about. And the only way we can respond to the hate of others is with a love of ourselves. So I really believe Jews should celebrate and dance and sing and pray without a caution, with abandon, with openness. Again, like this is our country. Like you said, we are a Judeo-Christian nation. The founding fathers built this for all of us, where all of us could live under our own vine and fig tree. So more than ever, we need to remember those words, and I believe to celebrate that. So that's first. And then secondly, to the listeners out there, like, again, the parents who want to send their kid to a Jewish bar, bat mitzvah, or are concerned or don't know how to respond, the best way to respond to the challenge that your friends are facing is to be a friend. So go to a menorah lighting, go to a Hanukkah celebration, show up, and there is strength in solidarity. There is power in numbers. Together, we are much, much stronger than what the haters are trying to push on us. And then lastly, look, our leaders need to lead. So whether it's folks on the right calling out the anti-Semitism that's growing on the right, like you just did, folks on the left calling out the hate that's growing on the left, God, do we need to see more of that? Folks in public life using their platforms and using their pulpits to push back on prejudice, because ultimately it will consume all of us. So leaders should lead, friends should be friends, and Jews should be Jews. If we can do those things together, we will overcome. I know it.
Also, anti-Semitism is the canary in the coal mine. Every other form
Oh,
of hate and bigotry comes next.
oh
Like
yeah.
just because it's starting with the Jewish community doesn't mean it's not going to go to every other minority and women and everything next. So we have Hailey really quick, Jonathan. She is a friend of the show, lives in New York City. Hi, Hailey. She is Israeli American. Thank you
Oh,
so much for coming on, Hailey. It's always lovely to see your face.
Oh, thank you guys. I love you
I
guys.
hope you're feeling okay this morning. Again, I know it's a very dark morning.
So I'm gonna be honest. I woke up, I think it was yesterday, mo like time-wise here in New York, and I had a visceral like reaction that I didn't think I would have because I woke like the same thing happened to me on October 7th was that I woke up to the news looking at my phone and seeing all the videos and all of the like just scrolling through it. And the same thing happened to me, Sunday morning. So I don't think, first of all, I'm alone that like I really had I hate this word, but like a triggered a reaction seeing that and just being brought back to October 7th instantly. And so it took me a very long time to like get out of that. And I'm obviously I'm horrified. Like I said, it took me a full 24 hours for me to even be able to talk about this without crying. But what I've seen like after the attacks and what I think is really worrying for me and really troubling and just so frustrating is whenever we're talking about Jews being attacked, somehow, somewhere, it always comes back to Israel. And
Mhm.
for me, there, as like I said, I'm Israeli American. I've lived in Tel Aviv. I am a very big critic of the current government, and I've said that on two-way many, many times. And you can document me, but nothing I would, I am not obviously anti-Semitic. I am a Jewish, I'm very proud Jewish American, Israeli American. So for me, there's two topics here. There is Israel, and we can sit here and go over criticism after criticism and debate it, and that's okay because that's what we do in Western countries. We criticize governments and wars and all of that. But then the other thing, which it's really hard for me, like I'm just gonna say, we're talking about a terror attack in Australia. And the coverage that I've been seeing, the comments that I've been seeing from podcasters across the aisle is Israel and the declining support of Israel. And it's like, what do we do? How do we get
Yeah.
these two topics completely unentangled because there is anti-Semitism and then there is Israel. And for me, as a Jew, obviously they're intertwined, but in the Western way of seeing things, they are not. And anti-Semitism is one thing and criticism of Israel is another. And it just very frustrating. So I just wanted to, put that out there.
Mhm.
So there are a few things. So I think number one, Hailey, you are absolutely fundamentally, unequivocally correct that you should be able to criticize the state of Israel like every other country without it being open season on Jewish people everywhere. I mean, by the way, I mentioned before, like I have big problems with the Islamic Republic of Iran. It's a theocratic fascist government. But like, I don't have a problem with Muslim people, for goodness sakes. I have a problem
Mhm.
with the communist government in China. I don't have a problem with Chinese American people or Chinese people for that matter. I have a
Russians,
problem with,
Putin,
yeah,
same
but
thing.
no one would ever think, despite what's happening in Ukraine, that it's okay to vandalize a Russian Orthodox church. No one would think, despite what's happening in Ukraine, it's okay to go, beat up people when you hear them speaking Russian on the subway. So clearly, there's a sort of bizarre conflation of Israel with Jewish in a way that doesn't happen in any other country in the world. That's a kind of anti-Semitism. By the holding Jews to a double standard is the very epitome of what it means to single them out and to marginalize them uniquely. So number one, you're right that it's wrong. Number two, I do think in the West, there is this tendency to oversimplify, and we've got to push back against that. And the same people who said, stop Asian hate a few years ago when Chinese people were being attacked because of anger about COVID, those same people should come out and say, stop, anti-Semitism when Jewish people are attacked in Australia or in the UK or in the United States because someone's unhappy about what's happening in the Middle East. And again, I'm very unhappy about what Hamas, which is a Muslim Brotherhood affiliate, has done, but that does not give me any right, that does not give me any free range to go harass Muslim people. And anyone who did that, I would be the first to call them out.
Mhm.
It's dead wrong. So we've got to hope, Hailey, that your kind of moral clarity can be applied by commentators, by columnists, by elected officials, all those kind of people here as well.
Can I ask you a question, Jonathan? Hailey lives in New York. Obviously, we've had many conversations or several conversations. Like I said, she's a friend of the show about Mamdani. I still have very serious problems that he didn't completely disavow the globalize the Intifada rhetoric and conversation. I think what we just saw in Australia is an example of globalize the Intifada. It's an international call for hate and violence against Jewish people and Zionists, which, peripherally includes Miranda and I. What I just can't imagine the experience of being a Jewish New Yorker right now if you are worried about anti-Semitism, if you are someone who's pro-Israel, if you don't think globalizing Intifada is a great term. Do you think that his new administration is aware that he has a lot of work to do with the Jewish community? And honestly, I just fear having someone with that lack of moral clarity running one of the most influential cities on the globe.
Look, I think a lot of Jewish people in New York, and to your point, like you're in Arizona, outside of New York, are deeply, deeply alarmed about having a mayor who is sort of breezily anti-Zionist and openly engages with, and I guess employs on the transition committee, a number of people with very questionable histories on these issues, with a long track record of like absolutely, I would think
Is it Linda Sarsour? Is that who it is? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Linda Sarsour is one of his allies. She's not on the transition committee.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry, go ahead.
Mika Mallory is. She was one of the organizers of the Women's March who was openly anti-Semitic and had to leave the Women's March. It all fell apart because of the anti-Semitism back in 2017. Look, I think a lot of Jewish New Yorkers are very concerned. I don't know how the incoming administration would not be aware. So I can't speak for them, but I can say that, look, at ADL, we are going to shine a bright hot light, make sure that the personnel that are appointed, that the policies that are introduced, that the programs that are rolled out are good for Jewish New Yorkers. I mean, this is the city, not just in America, but in the world with the largest Jewish population. This is the city in America that also has experienced, unfortunately, the most anti-Semitism. The highest number of acts of harassment or vandalism or violence, they've happened here. So in a place that is fraught, with a community that's vulnerable, with a mayor who, again, has openly, as you talked about just now, like hasn't unequivocally disavowed and stopped using the kind of language like globalize the Intifada. I mean, just his failure to be unambiguous about it is really problematic. And he leans on language like, oh, I believe in international law. So do all of us. But
yeah.
That people walking into a synagogue are somehow violating international law, as he said a few weeks ago, was incorrigible, like absolutely unacceptable. So all that I think Jewish New Yorkers want to see from this mayor is the same level of compassion and policies that ensure the protection of his Jewish citizens. We haven't yet seen that. So I don't want to judge before he takes office, but we have good reason, I think, to be concerned based on his track record. And we'll judge him based on what he actually does.
I would also mention that there's, for me, what I've seen since his election, even during his campaign, the Jewish groups that he does meet with were very interesting. Like the ones that he would take pictures with and go to the synagogues. He's very smart. He knows exactly what he was doing when he was choosing. I mean, I would say a lot of the groups that he met with were very extremist, Jewish groups and, offshoots of Orthodox Jews that were, are very anti-Israel. I mean, so he knows he was very smart look, I'm meeting with Jews. There are Jews that accept me. And that's how I think he got the percentage that he got of the Jewish vote, because some people did say, okay, there are Jews that, accept him. And again, if you dig into it, you'll realize that there's very specific Jewish groups that he met with. And it's just, that is also very disheartening. I just want him to go to, one of the mainstream synagogues and, speak. And I would love that. I would love that as a Jewish New Yorker to see him take those steps, but I think he's doing the complete opposite.
Look, he's met with rabbis for sure, Hailey. He met with the New York Board of Rabbis last week. It was leaked to the public. So I do think he is engaging, but to me, it's less about what you say and more what you do, right? So
100%.
we got to see him say there have been some good stuff. Like let's be frank. Like he said he's going to keep Jessica Tisch, the police commissioner, in place. That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And look, people like Mark Levine, the incoming controller, and Julie Menon, the incoming speaker of the city council, are both, they're Jewish, and I think their politics are very aligned with the vast majority of Jewish New Yorkers are, like you and like me. So I have some reason to have some degree of confidence that they're gonna be guardrails. But as you alluded to, I don't think it's for the mayor to choose his constituents. Like, again, here are the Jews he will talk to.
Right.
He needs to speak to the majority of us, and his actions need to align with where the community is. So I'm hoping that will happen. We'll judge him by what he does. And, it's just a few weeks away, so we're going to see real soon.
Thank you very much, Hailey. It's nice to see you. Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you guys.
Enjoy those
Happy
8
holidays.
crazy nights.
Love you
Thank you. Last question for you, Jonathan. So I know you have to go. Look, we just want to know how we can support our Jewish friends and neighbors and loved ones right now. So many of my friends feel so alone and so scared and so just like disheartened, and they feel like there's just no party, no place. And I don't know what to say anymore because, like I said, I used to take great pride that Republicans had such a long history of supporting Israel and supporting our Jewish brothers and sisters. It's completely falling apart in front of my eyes right now. What do you suggest allies do in this moment to help?
So I think the best way that allies can help, number one, check in, send a text message, drop an email, pick up the phone, reach out, just ping somebody on social, like drop it, slide a DM into somebody, like literally show up for your Jewish friends, show up for your Jewish family members, show up for your Jewish colleagues, let them know you're thinking about them. Just say happy Hanukkah, like just that acknowledgement of their humanity, just that recognizing that it's a moment that goes a long way. So number one, just check in. Number two, you could show up. Like there are menorah lightings happening all over America. They're public. You can find them. You can just Google them, go to Chabad.org or just, use your search engine. You can find them. Show up. That matters too. And then, number three, I think what you're doing here, speak out. So when you see that kind of comment on social media, like say something. You can tweet in support or post in support of your the people in your lives, and just be there for Bondi, be there for Brooklyn, be there for Jewish people who are feeling threatened right now. So check in on the people that you know and care about and love. Show up at events when you have the opportunity to do so, and then just post your support. Don't be afraid to be public. So that's what the haters count on. The haters, I'll tell you a story. So here in New York at Park East Synagogue a few weeks ago, the event where the mayor bizarrely blamed the Jewish community, a mob of masked protesters clamored in front of this synagogue, and they literally got right up to the entrance, and the guy had a megaphone, one of the organizers, and he said, Meghan, we are going to make them afraid. We want to make them afraid, meaning the Jewish people. So you know what? This guy should know, and your audience should know, and the world should know, we won't be afraid. You can't scare us. And I think the Jewish people can be strong, and our allies can be strong with us. And so you are one of those people, Meghan. Again, I have such deep gratitude for your strength and your support. And I think for all your listeners, thank you just for giving me the chance to be here. Check in, show up, show strength. That's the best we can do.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you for your kind words. It's not hard. It really isn't. I'm not a disgusting garbage person who's going to start hating people for no reason. It's insane. And I cannot believe this is the climate we are living in. It's a horror show. And I never thought the United States of America would be like this. And unfortunately, we are dealing with it. But I do think good will reside over evil. I hope you have a happy Hanukkah and a wonderful holiday season and New Year's. And I hope I speak to you after New Year's, and just keep up the good work, Jonathan. And again, I'm so sorry.
Thank you, Meghan.
Thank you. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, we're gonna switch gears a little bit. Is our another guest here, Ashley? Amazing. We are very excited to have our good friend Selena Zito here. She needs no introduction, but she's the Washington Examiner reporter and special correspondent for the Washington Post. She's also a #1 New York Times best-selling author, but something I will never achieve in my life. Congratulations, Selena. You can follow her on X at Zito Selena. Selena, so it's a dark morning, a
Ugh,
dark
I'm so glad you're
afternoon.
here.
You look lovely and festive right now. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm dressed like a farmer, or as you say, Adam Sandler. And
That's how I'm dressed.
and I don't care because I'm cozy and warm. And I
You
knew
look
you would love it.
wonderful. I actually love it. The buffalo
Love it.
check is really, and it's your vibe. You're like the sage of the middle of the country. So thank you so much for coming on. We haven't talked about this yet on the show, but this is just like a really bizarre, insane story that broke last night. The actor and director Rob Reiner and his wife were found dead in their home. This is horrible, Selena. Their throats were slit and they were stabbed by their son. Allegedly, the main suspect is their son, Nick Reiner. He's being held on $4 million of bail. He has spoken in the past of his struggles with addiction. Uh, for many of us, Rob Reiner's work, I mean, we're talking about When Harry Met Sally, The Princess Bride, Stand By Me, Misery, A Few Good Men, and this is Spinal Tap, among, many, many other shows. I think we have a picture of Rob Reiner and his wife coming up, and then a picture of sorry, do we have it really quick? And then a picture of their son. Yes, this story is just gnarly. It's just awful, crazy. I don't even know if there's anything to say, but I wanted to talk to you about this because it's really sending shockwaves everywhere right now.
It really is. And for those of us of a certain age and even younger than me, the Reiner family, the men in the family, were really the soundtrack of our lives. When I was a kid, they used to do the old reruns of Your Show of Shows, which was, written by Carl Reiner and Sid Caesar and I think Woody Allen at some point had written it. And then you sort of, there's Dick Van Dyke, and then you go into Meathead, and then all these great classic movies that he directed, and shows that he was in. And the family was, I mean, when you think about it, his dad was 98 years old when he died 5 years ago. There's only 5 years that separate the death of him, his son, and his father, Carl Reiner. And it's just so sad. It's a sad reflection of our culture. Our culture won't be the same without the Reiners as part of it, because they were great storytellers. They were just
Yeah.
an imaginative and thoughtful, and really tapped into the American experience. I mean, Harry Met Sally, everyone has a great breakup story, right?
Yes.
And everyone
Yes.
has like a guy or a gal that was our friend, and sometimes it moves into out of the friend zone, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it works out. He did stories we can relate to.
Yeah, and there's just something about it. It's like how Phil Hartman, the famous comedian, his wife shot and killed him. Like it's just something like so just macabre and sinister and like horrific. I mean, to be stabbed to death by your own son is like, on the first night of Hanukkah, he was Jewish. It's just like, something from a horror movie or something. And I don't really have anything else to say other than it's deeply tragic. And I'm very sorry for his family.
Yeah.
And apparently his other daughter found them. And I'm just prayers to them. I'm so sorry, Selena. And Miranda, I don't really have anything else to say. It's just really awful.
It's really dark. And
Yeah.
There's a very hostile way to kill someone.
Oh, horrific. I mean, it's like terrorists.
Very different than
Yeah.
shooting them. This
Totally.
is a level of hostility and darkness, and likely has to be some kind of mental illness.
Oh,
to
yeah.
have taken it to this level. Both of your parents, it's inconceivable. Well, I don't mean to say inconceivable.
Sorry, I don't mean to
I
laugh.
didn't do that on
Princess
purpose.
Bride.
Princess Bride.
Yeah, my personal favorite is Spinal Tap. Sorry, go ahead, Miranda.
Oh,
Yeah, this happened in my backyard. I live here in LA, so there was just a lot of local coverage on it. And I will say this because I'm a huge like Mel Brooks, Carl Reiner,
Yeah.
just like fan dork. And you know, there's a lot to be said about the Reiner family just here locally, just with their philanthropy and their impact just in the local community. And, you know, they'd been having this Hanukkah party event, and like Billy Crystal was there, Larry David was there. There's a lot of footage of them just being at the home and having their reactions filmed and released. And if anybody's interested in seeing it, it's heartbreaking and it's all over social media. It's probably going to be inescapable later today. Um, it was easy to find Rob Reiner around town. He wasn't a person who was standoffish. It's, you know, everyone has seen him if you've been in LA or lived here.
Yeah.
And he was always at Dodger games, that kind of stuff. So this is going to be a huge loss, not just for the community, but for the entertainment industry. His wit, his contributions to the art and the industry are incalculable. And this is just really devastating. And the fact that it was done by his own child, again, like we said, is crazy. I feel really bad for the children, especially his daughter, who had to find the parents. And by all accounts, she knew immediately that it was this one particular sibling who was the prime suspect, and he's been cooperative. So I can't imagine that we won't find out more details. I'm very curious to see what happened. The son has had a long history with drug addiction and abuse, homelessness, mental illness, including what's being reported as schizophrenia. So there must have been some kind of a snap or something that happened yesterday with the Hanukkah stuff. And the holidays is very triggering for a lot of people. So maybe just, I don't know, check in on people that you love and care about and make sure everybody's okay. But I mean, this is probably just some sort of like domestic situation that could have happened to anybody, and it just happened to be someone very beloved. So
I interviewed him one time, and he was really nice and funny, and I didn't know if he was going to be, you know, some actors when they're in front of me are just so shitty because they're like, she's a Republican, whatever. And obviously he's very anti-Trump and anti-conservative, and he was really nice and funny.
Yeah.
So for whatever that's worth. And then I saw James Woods tweet, who's obviously a very conservative actor and director, say that he worked with him on Ghosts of Mississippi, which is a very intense movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, about the shooting of Medgar Evers. And he said he always maintained a friendship with him and politics didn't matter. So for whatever that's worth, there's
he's
that.
one of those
And
people that was very politically active and interested, but he wasn't like a dick about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think sometimes with people on social media, they tend to not be themselves. Now, Meghan, I know you're always yourself, but there are a lot of people that aren't, right? And they feel as though they can be this way or that way. And I never really try to judge someone by their social media posts, because the hard and fast rule is you never know what someone's going through.
it's true. It's very true. And if he had a son going through all this stuff, God knows there might be more anger from that. But we're going to move on. But we just had to talk about it with you, Selena, because it's just the weirdest, awful story. I want to switch gears a little bit and talk to you about this. Another crazy, dark, awful story going on in our industry, Selena. So we've been talking about this for a few weeks, but there's been a huge split and fracture among conservative podcasters and some conservative influencers about Charlie Kirk's assassination. There was a lot of back and forth last week between the podcaster Candace Owens and then Erica Kirk, the widow of Charlie Kirk. She was doing a lot of media last week. She did a town hall with Barry Weiss at CBS number 5, where she was actually asked about Candace Owens, number 5, please.
Podcaster Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time, an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now?
Stop. That's it.
So
that's all I have to say. Stop.
So Selena, I'm a big fan of Erica Kirk's. I think she's like a Jackie O figure for our generation, and she's very stoic, and I've really just been in admiration of her fortitude. I could not do what she's doing. I just couldn't. I mean, I don't think I have that kind of like internal constitution. I have had a very hard time watching what Candace Owens was doing to her. I did not like it. I thought it was gross. I just think this woman is in severe grief. And I agree with what Erica Kirk has also said in many interviews, that she's in touch with the FBI. She's seen autopsy reports. Like, she is on top. It's her husband. Of course, she wants justice more than anyone. Erica announced last night that she will be meeting with Candace Owens privately today, and that they're taking a pause on anything. Turning Point had offered to do a live stream to rebut Candace Owens' conspiracy theories. It was supposed to happen today. I guess it didn't happen. And it's been just a lot of ugliness and chaos between Turning Point, Erica Kirk, and Candace Owens, and then some other figures on the right who have been exacerbating these conspiracy theories. Do you have any thoughts on it? I know you've been watching it. You're part of the community as well. And do you think there will be peace today after their meeting?
I think it's evil what she's been doing. And for anybody that doesn't know, I don't live in DC. I do my reporting outside of DC in Pennsylvania,
In
Ohio.
real life.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't know anybody at all. And I went back to all the young people that I interviewed last year for the all 120 of them, 29, I think, went back and they're like, yeah, no, we don't listen to her. So I'm having a hard time even finding people in the wild that are listening to this, right? If you go on social media, you think this is a dominant sense among young conservatives. It's not. Not at all. Not even remotely. And I know 129 people isn't like a lot, but it does give you an overarching understanding of a variety of different kinds of people in different geographical areas who used to listen to her and have just been like, whoa, this is way too much. They've also been very offended by the whole anti-Semitism. You know, this is not how normal people have been brought up, right? In particular, people of faith, people that are Catholic, people that are evangelical. These are people that are very protective of Israel and the Jewish people, right? That's how they're brought up. So I just want to, the whole Jewish thing, the whole Erica Kirk thing is crazy.
One of the things I want to point out about, excuse me, about Candace and Erica is that, this whole thing with Candace is that she's been, and I've been following this pretty closely, is that she's been saying that, she's just trying to get to the bottom of the truth of what happened with Charlie's assassination and blah, and that she would stop if Erica asked her to stop. And so here's Erica on national television on a main broadcast network saying stop. And on, I believe it was either Saturday or Sunday, Candace goes on, plays that exact same clip we just played, saying, well, she's asking me to stop, and no, nah, I'm not going to stop. No. And so, where is your scruples? Where's your relationship to this family? Where's your loyalty to Turning Point and Charlie and whatever the wishes would be of this family and his legacy? And so now I'm very, very curious to see what's going to come of this meeting, if it even actually happens, and what we're going to find out about it, because she said she'd stop if Erica said to stop. Erica said to stop. She said no. So where do we go from here? And I don't think either one of them are going to stop.
My little 3-year-old grandson's coming up the steps, guys.
Hello. I would love to see him if it's okay.
Come here.
Hello.
Come here, baby.
Come say hi to your grandma doing your interview. Hello. Oh, hello.
Oh, he
How
is so
are
cute.
you? Merry
Say hi,
Christmas.
girl.
Hi. What is Santa bringing you this year? Or what did you ask?
What's Santa bringing you?
A driller.
A driller. He wants to be a worker.
A builder.
That's a very
sure.
on-brand Christmas present, Selena,
Okay,
for you. We understand actually that, did you meet President Trump, or did your other
No,
I think it was him, right?
Yeah,
Was
no,
it
this
you?
was him. Do you have the clip?
We do.
Yes. Would you mind if we showed the clip of you meeting the
Oh, you wanna
president?
see you with Donald?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Good,
Could you
yeah.
show it, Ashley? We got it.
It's so cute. Oh yeah, that's Thomas.
So
Thomas the tank engine.
When he
sweet.
when he was
Do we have
out,
it?
when he was out,
Here you look.
You want it, or you don't have to have it? Would you like it? She's smart. She said yes.
Oh my gosh.
Do you want one, honey?
Cute.
You won't, Jim? Look at him. Oh, he's got a lot of Italian blood in him. Look, yes, he is.
And his
My
name is Rocco.
Donald.
Cute.
Okay, do you want a
What's his
pen?
name?
Want a
Ronald.
pen? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
What was that like? Was that so fun?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we'll bake in a couple minutes. Go downstairs and watch your show.
But it went off.
Okay, I'll be right with you.
We
Sorry,
can-
guys.
No, you know what? My daughter had to come in the studio like a week ago, 10 days ago, and she was trying to interrupt the whole time. And my poor producer had to help with all.
My
I
kids-
totally get it.
My
There's
kids are
no
always
childcare this
sticking
season.
their heads
Like,
in the head window
yeah,
or the
school's
doorway
almost
room.
out. What was it like to bring your grandkids into the Oval Office, though?
It was really crazy. I had to. You will use that for baking. Come on over here. So we
Also,
had,
Miranda, if you want to bring your kids in, this is just
I-
kid
I
playtime.
They're
had,
at, they're at
I
school
had an
today, but
interview-
they will be here
I had
when
an
you get back
interview
from break.
planned with Trump, and no, was bringing them to DC because they had off of school to take them to like all the places, right?
Yeah.
And the White House said, well, we want to do an interview. Because I forget who I was talking to, and they're like, why don't you come in and do an interview? And I'm like, great. And then like 5 minutes later, I'm like, oh, not great. I have my grandchildren with me, and
The
my
president
daughter's
loves
my
children.
photographer. So we don't have anywhere to take them. And to their great credit, they're like, bring them in. And so we did. And they
amazing.
stayed in the room for about 7
Grandma,
minutes.
look.
I see that. And then they watched Paw Patrol in Caroline Levitt's room.
That's
love
going to be
that.
an incredible memory for them to have when they're older, obviously to see. And one of the things I really appreciate about this administration is that it's like the most family kid friend. I really appreciate it. I like it. I like having young kids around. I like that Caroline Levitt brings her kid to the office. Like, I think it's good for the country to see young families and young kids and grandkids, and to obviously see your grandson as well going in the Oval Office. Hello. Hi. Merry
Say, I love
Christmas.
you, Miss Megan.
We love you too. They must be so proud of you. Do they understand what you do for a living,
Now
Selena?
you can see me.
The older one does, but he's 2.
Now
So
you can see me.
okay, Rocco.
No, I can see
So
you.
sorry.
No, it's totally fine. We all have young kids. I'm about to
I
have a
get it.
third. Like, trust me, half the time on our Zooms for the show, it's like there's just children running in and out for different reasons and different costumes, and Elsa and Jack Skeleton. And it is like,
Showing off what they're watching on their iPad. Yep.
yeah, totally fine.
So I want to make sure that I say that I think what is going on with what happened with Candace is terrible. Absolutely terrible. I
Mhm.
have no stomach for any of this conspiracy theorist stuff. I don't listen to it. I don't watch it. I don't even want to like absorb any part of it in me, because I just think it's so evil. And if it's not evil, it's done to make money.
Well,
But do you think
because
it
you
causes
live
a-
in the real world. Just one second, Miranda. Because again, like for people that don't know, Selena is very famous and well established, but you really exploded when you called Trump in 2015 and said everyone was wrong and said I'm right, and then people treated you like you had a tinfoil hat on, and then afterward you were on every show possible because you're like, I live in the real world. This is what's happening.
Yeah.
My concern is fracturing within the coalition. I don't like fracturing. I like having the Maha people with the traditional conservatives, with the MAGA people. Like, I like a big tent. I like us all getting along. I like us all working for one mission, which is to defeat the left. Like, that's what I like. And I
do
love
too.
that with Charlie. President Trump has signaled that many times over this administration, and when he was running last time, that you are welcome here. And I think the fact that he's been so kind to me and my husband is a great example of that more than anything. I don't like this. I don't like fracturing. I don't like headhunting. How much of a possibility do you think it has to impact the midterms and the next election? Because again, I don't know. I'm too in the media bubble.
It's a very online thing. It's not a very political thing. The coalition is fine.
Okay.
You can bring the rolling pin out.
So you're not concerned about any of this Tucker Carlson, Nick
No.
Fuentes podcast gripers, whatever, any of that being influential like it was with the Andrew Schultz and the Theo Von and he's like, let's bake now. And the Theo Von helping with the 2024 and the influence of the younger guys.
About any of that stuff. I don't
Listen to Selena.
Of it
I believe her. Yeah, I trust her.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, like,
because it's like something that Meghan and I are very concerned about. But again, we're so into this media news bubble that it's like, okay, is this something to be really
there's
about?
Also people who consider themselves the gatekeepers who don't seem to understand or appreciate, which, by the way, I always think about the fact that Charlie Kirk was like, someone was saying something bad about Susan Collins, and he was like, no, Susan Collins can win a state where I don't want a Democrat to win. And Charlie Kirk was so kind to me. Turning Point is still so kind to me. Like, I just want to put that out there. Yeah. I think that is the way. The path is for all sides to come together. We have Maha people who were Democrats 6 seconds ago in the coalition. Yeah. It's like, we should want everyone. So it makes me feel, it makes me feel good and makes me feel reassured that you're like, this is an online thing. And too much online is too much. And you have to go bake Christmas cookies or you're going to ruin his day.
We're almost done. It's all right.
Bye.
Bye. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Thank you for joining us today. And
it snowed. Yes, we have a lot of snow up here in the mountain.
So exciting. It's so hot here where I live. It's disgusting.
It snowed here too. It's illegal.
We've got like a foot of snow.
Selena, we just want to thank you
here
for being such a wonderful guest, so much throughout the year. You've had such a wonderful, really just banner year. I mean, congratulations on all your continued success. There's a reason so many millions and millions of people trust you and your reporting, and we love you so much. And
yes, we do.
Will continue following all your work at the Washington Examiner and the Washington Post and on X, Zito, Selena. And if you want a good Christmas gift, legitimately, your book is fantastic. I'm proud to have it on my bookshelf. And it is really I don't know anyone who has a #1 best-selling book. You're the only one. So congratulations.
I have a book, a story out today about going bear hunting. So please, the Washington Post, please check it out on X. It's pretty awesome.
I'll retweet it.
Please come on with us.
Thanks, guys.
50 times next year.
Thank you so much.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
sweetie.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Gosh, he's so cute.
I love more kids on our show, the better. It's a good thing. We only have 2 minutes left.
Well,
do we want to do
as much time as we want? Or is there anything else on the list that you like we didn't get to, or we're gonna save for Wednesday?
I think we should save for Wednesday because this is a good. Okay, so a little spoiler: we have Carlos King coming on Wednesday as well. The pop culture
and you shall receive.
King.
People have been begging for more Housewives stuff.
Yes, we're gonna get very deep into what's going on in Salt Lake City. Bronwyn announcing her divorce from Todd.
We're gonna fill in all the breadcrumbs we've noticed all season that have led to this moment that we've all been predicting.
Yes, and then more Housewives stuff in general, and just the future of Bravo going forward. Because I have been loving Salt Lake City. Girl, Miranda, I don't know if I can watch Beverly Hills.
I feel like
Andy, go ahead.
Is Andy trolling them, having them on the same time as Salt Lake? Because it's I
know,
so bad. It's just, it can't.
But it's so boring.
That's what I'm saying. It's
James,
Salt Lake
my
is
girl.
So great.
I really thought Rachel Zoe, were people, were the millennials like us, the older millennials. She was a huge pop culture figure in the early 2000s, mid 2000s.
And a great Bravo show with the Zoe.
Yeah.
I loved it.
So good. She is so boring. So you cannot be a boring reality TV star, and she's so boring. And I just don't know how much more I can do another season of highly scripted, overly produced, and then flirtations of Kyle Richards finally talking about the fact that she has been in a relationship with Morgan Wade, who's a woman.
Broken up. It's
but nobody cares, and nobody thinks it's, with absolute respect to our LGBTQ community, there are lots of gay people in Hollywood. It's not that exciting of a respectfully. I'm glad we're here culturally, but
you're bi.
That. It's just not that. I think they've been together.
We already know. We knew it. We've been knowing this for years. So I don't know why it took.
You did a music video making out with her.
You guys have been getting matching tattoos together for years. It's so stupid.
Yeah. Totally. And then we're going to do more pop culture stuff. And then, like I said, if you guys want to message us
Andy and
social
Todd too, we
media,
got that.
or Miranda. Yeah, Candy and Todd.
It's a bad
If you
year
want-
for husbands named Todd. I just got to say that.
If you want to message Miranda or me or the Citizen McCain podcast, we obviously want to hear from you about what you want. We're going to do like a final wrap-up show on Wednesday, a Festivus, if you will, our grievances from the year and what we don't want to see going into 2026.
Yes.
We're going to bring in, and just bear with us, a little bit of astrology into this, a little bit of the Chinese zodiac. It was the year of the snake, lots of shedding. Going into the year of the horse, it's supposed to be much better. And we're certainly ending the year in a very intense way right now. So we're going to be doing a totally Miranda, Meghan curated show, probably a little less news of the racehorse news of the day. And we're just going to have fun on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I have a sequin green jacket I may wear just for fun for the holidays. And then it's going to
Oh,
be
you're gonna
my
be
last
fancy.
show,
I
sadly, for
know.
maternity leave for probably around 4 to
gonna-
6 weeks.
I'm gonna miss you so
We'll
much.
have guest hosts. Miranda will be co-hosting and guest hosting with a series of regulars and co-hosts.
We already have our first show booked, and it's very
know.
exciting.
And I have FOMO about it. I'm gonna
I
pop
know.
in. I'm not just gonna be like in a dungeon someplace. But I'm very sad to be missing the first year
Do you
back
want to
year
just
with
do the
show.
whole like first episode? Do you just want to come on?
I probably might. I gotta see how I gotta see how ravaged my body is afterward. But
You're
I
gonna
would like
be
to
like
try.
itchy to come back. I can already tell. I already know.
Yeah, I love, and one topic I want to continue for next week is Kourtney Kardashian saying you basically shouldn't work between
Oh,
0 to 3 years. I don't adhere by that. I think we should stop mom shaming everyone in general. Everybody's going to make different choices, and we should respect that. Period. Also,
You do
homegirl,
you.
you're
That should be our
47. Relax. With billions of dollars. Like, some people have to work and some people have to like live, and it's just ignorant. We can do that topic. I
need
think
the
we should do it with
mental
Carlos
separation. Yeah.
Wednesday. Anything
sure.
else you want to say, Miranda? Thank you for rallying. Miranda is under the weather yet again because her kids are carrier
Always.
monkeys.
I'm always
I
sick.
appreciate you coming on.
Just watch a Rob Reiner movie if you have the time.
Yeah.
Or maybe just an episode of New Girl, because he plays Jess's, which is the Zooey Deschanel character's dad. The Thanksgiving episodes are always spectacular. Just, if you have a minute, honor him, because what happened to him is incredibly tragic, and what a life he lived, and this is not how he should have gone out. Because
And his art will just be like,
it'll live on forever. And, his dad lived to be almost 100, like Selena was saying, and he should have lived another 20 years.
I know. Spinal Tap is one of my favorite movies, and I
w-
quote it all the time.
We do that all the time, turn it up to 11. So
Yes.
watch
Stonehenge. Yes.
watch something about Rob Reiner today if you can, and try to remember the laughter and the good times and something just fun or cool about him. Like, I love Misery. It's just such a great piece of work.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's one of
And-
the ones we talk about all the time too. So yeah, just that's my only piece of whatever, if you want to take
Just
it
so
or leave it.
sad.
That's what
And
I'll
we're
be doing
praying
today.
for the family. It's just so
His children.
awful.
To lose both of your parents, including one of them whose mom was Penny Marshall, his first wife. Now she doesn't have, all three of her parents are gone. It's just terribly tragic. So
Yeah.
think of the family and the friends.
Yeah. Well, happy second day of Hanukkah
Yes.
and Merry Christmas. And we will
And
see you
let's
guys
hope the
for our
week gets better.
last holiday show Wednesday. And again, I think I'm going to wear some sequins. So let's pair together.
Yay.
Thanks, Miranda. See you guys
Thanks, guys.
Wednesday.